Is global warming real? This question has echoed through the corridors of science and politics for decades now. A question that has divided opinions and spurred countless debates. But what is global warming really? In layman's terms, it's the long-term heating of Earth's climate system, predominantly driven by human activities. It's a phenomenon that has the potential to drastically alter life as we know it. Now, why is it a topic of debate, you ask? Well, while the vast majority of scientists agree that global warming is indeed happening, there are still a few who question its existence or its severity. What's more, people argue about its causes, its implications, and most importantly, what we should do about it. Yes, it's a complex issue with layers upon layers of information and misinformation. So let's dive deep into this heated debate and try to uncover the truth. On one side of the debate, we have the believers. These folks argue that global warming is indeed real and happening right now. Now, who are these believers? They're scientists, researchers, environmentalists, and ordinary people like you and me who have taken a hard look at the data and have come to a conclusion. Our planet is getting warmer and we're the ones turning up the heat. Let's talk about temperatures. Over the past century, the average global temperature has risen by more than 1 degree Celsius. This might not sound like much, but on a global scale, it's a significant change, and it's not just a one-off. The 20 warmest years on record have all occurred since 1981, and the 4 warmest have been in the last decade. Then we have the melting ice caps. The icy realms of the Arctic and Antarctic are melting at alarming rates. Satellite images show a dramatic reduction in sea ice over the past few decades. In fact, the Arctic is warming twice as fast as the rest of the world, causing its ice to thin and shrink. Let's not forget the extreme weather events. From intense heat waves to heavy rainfall, from raging wildfires to powerful hurricanes, these events are becoming more frequent and more severe. Recent studies suggest a direct link between these extreme weather events and human-induced global warming. The believers point to all of these changes as proof of global warming. They argue that these are not mere coincidences or natural fluctuations, but clear signs of a warming planet. They see the cause and effect, the action and reaction. We burn fossil fuels, we release carbon dioxide, and the planet heats up. That's the view from the believers' side. They see a world that's getting hotter, ice that's melting faster, and weather that's becoming more unpredictable. They see a planet in crisis, a future at risk, and a call to action that cannot be ignored. So according to the believers, the evidence for global warming is clear and undeniable. On the other side, we have the skeptics. These people argue that global warming is a hoax or an exaggeration. They stand firm on their beliefs, questioning the consensus of climate scientists. They argue that the Earth's climate has always been shifting, changing, and evolving, and that current changes are merely part of a natural cycle. They point to periods in the Earth's history, like the Ice Age, as evidence of this natural fluctuation. They also challenge the accuracy and reliability of climate data. Questioning the methods used to measure global temperatures, they argue that the data is skewed, manipulated, or misinterpreted to support the narrative of global warming. For them, the rise in temperatures could just as easily be a result of data tampering or misrepresentation as it could be due to human-induced climate change. Moreover, they question the role of CO2 in climate change. They argue that while yes, CO2 is a greenhouse gas, its overall contribution to global warming is overstated. They point out that water vapor is a far more potent greenhouse gas, and that variations in solar radiation can also significantly impact the Earth's climate. Skeptics also raise economic and political concerns. They argue that the push for renewable energy and the demonization of fossil fuels are driven more by political agendas and economic interests than by genuine concern for the environment. They see the climate change narrative as a tool used by governments and corporations to control resources and influence global markets. They challenge the doom and gloom predictions of climate scientists, arguing that they are based on faulty models and exaggerated scenarios. They believe these predictions are designed to incite fear and push for radical policy changes rather than to provide an accurate assessment of future conditions. In essence, the skeptics take a more questioning stance. They demand more robust evidence, and challenge the prevailing narratives on climate change. They remind us that science is about questioning, testing, and retesting, and that any theory, no matter how widely accepted, should always be open to scrutiny. For the skeptics, the case for global warming is far from settled. Tangled in this debate are a number of conspiracy theories about global warming. Now, these aren't your run-of-the-mill theories. These are theories that have been woven into the fabric of the debate, making it that much harder to separate fact from fiction. One such theory is that global warming is a cleverly constructed hoax to promote renewable energy. Proponents of this theory suggest that scientists, politicians, and green companies have cooked up the concept of global warming to push their own interests. Another popular theory is that global warming is an economic manipulation tool. The claim here is that fear of global warming is used to impose new taxes, control the energy market, or even to bring about a new world order. While these theories can make for interesting conversation, they often serve to muddy the waters. They distract from the real issues and the scientific consensus on climate change. These conspiracy theories add another layer of complexity to the global warming debate. But what does the future hold? What do scientists predict will happen if global warming continues unchecked? Well, let's delve into this. The potential impacts of global warming are far-reaching and severe. One of the most pressing issues is the rising sea levels. As the polar ice caps melt due to increasing temperatures, our oceans get fuller. Now imagine the impact on coastal cities. We're talking about places like New York, Miami, Shanghai, and countless island nations. These places could be partially or entirely underwater in the not-so-distant future. Another repercussion of global warming is an increase in droughts and floods. How so? Well, as temperatures rise, evaporation rates increase. This can lead to drier conditions in some areas, resulting in droughts. On the other side of the coin, more evaporation means more water in the atmosphere, leading to heavier rainfalls and increased flooding in other regions. It's like a teeter-totter that's out of balance, and we're the ones stuck in the middle. Now let's talk about biodiversity, the variety of life on Earth. Every organism, from the smallest microbe to the largest mammal, plays a role in our planet's ecosystem, but global warming is disrupting these delicate balances. Species that can't adapt quickly enough to changing conditions are at risk of extinction. It's a domino effect. When one species disappears, it can impact the entire food chain, causing further loss of biodiversity. But let's not forget about us humans. Global warming can lead to food shortages, water scarcity, and increased spread of diseases, not to mention the economic costs associated with all these impacts. The predictions are dire, but they're not inevitable. There's still time to change course. Yes, we are at a crossroads. The choices we make today will determine the kind of world we leave behind for future generations. We can continue down the path of destruction, or we can choose to fight for a healthier, more sustainable planet. The choice is ours. So, who's to blame for global warming? Is it big corporations, governments, or all of us? Let's break it down. The main sources of greenhouse gas emissions are energy production, deforestation, and industrial processes. Energy production, primarily from burning fossil fuels, accounts for a staggering 75% of global emissions. Big corporations, without a doubt, play a significant role here. Deforestation, largely driven by agriculture, contributes to about 15%. Here, governments and policies are paramount in protecting our forests. The remaining 10% comes from various industrial processes and waste management. This is where each one of us comes into play. Our consumption habits, waste generation, and choices we make every day have a direct impact. Different countries also have different carbon footprints. Developed nations have historically contributed more to greenhouse gas emissions than developing ones. However, emerging economies are fast catching up. Regardless of who's to blame, it's clear that solving global warming will require global cooperation. So, is global warming real? The scientific consensus is clear. Yes, it is. We've taken a deep dive into the world of climate science, hearing from both believers and skeptics. We've delved into the conspiracy theories and examined the sobering predictions made by climate scientists. We've questioned who is to blame, and it's evident that responsibility lies with us all. in different measures. The statistics we've discussed don't lie. Rising sea levels, more frequent and severe heat waves, shifting weather patterns. These are all signs of a warming planet. The evidence is clear and compelling, leaving no room for doubt. Global warming is not a distant threat, it's a present reality. It's a challenge we're facing right now, a problem we must solve for the sake of our planet and future generations. The question now is not whether global warming is real, but what we're going to do about it.